JJ Solomon.
This Corey Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast.
It's your boy, Mr. RTBA, Mr. 214, Senor 214, Senor 214, Mr. Undeniable, Mr. D Boy Can't Touch Me.
Tell him.
On my worst day,
Tell him.
right here with my partner in crime, my dog, my brother from another, JJ Solomon. What's popping, my guy?
Mr. IOTBA, how you feeling tonight on this lovely Thursday evening, dog?
Hey, bro, I'm feeling real great, especially with our special guest we got coming on, because we was able to see her live in action in Dallas, Texas, and put on a dominant performance, Jay.
Oh, yeah, man. We super excited. We got a lot to cover tonight, man, but to your point, we got ourselves a guest from Kansas City, Missouri. You want to go ahead and bring her on, right?
Yeah,
you got anything you want to catch up to with the followers or say anything, or how you feeling? You good? Ready to bring her on?
Man, let's go.
All right. So without further ado, we have from Kansas City, Missouri, none other than Miss HolliWood, Danielle Bennett. Let's welcome her to the show.
Hey.
Yeah, you hear the people round of applause for Miss Danielle Bennett. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We are fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Listen, I heard you say, and we are honored about this. This is a fun fact, but this is Miss Danielle Bennett's first podcast appearance. So we appreciate you. It's an honor.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I feel honored.
And you know what that showed me, HolliWood, Danny? That just showed me your hard work that you've been putting in the gym day in and day out. It brought you to this moment right here where people are really starting to recognize you now. Because, like I said, we got a big group on Facebook. And when I put up there, this girl right here put on a sensational show in Dallas, like whoop-de-whoop. I know she's going to do her thing up there. You had a lot of people from Kansas City, Missouri jumping on there saying, that's our girl from Kansas City.
Yeah, that was one thing she said, bro, when we were talking about, scheduling tonight, was that it could be sometimes a little difficult to get the name and the notoriety and the clout and all that good stuff being right there in the Midwest, stuck in Kansas City, Missouri. But you definitely putting your name out there. Look, we're from Dallas, and we have the honor of having you on here.
Yeah, thank you guys, man. And especially like being in Missouri, and then I don't have very much amateur experience, kind of late into the boxing game. They're just now learning who I am, kind of. So I pray that this will help with the fan base and the following and getting some more people behind me here in my own show.
So let's start this off. I heard you mention you don't have that much amateur experience. Tell me, how many fights did you have in the amateur, HolliWood?
4. I was 3-1 as an amateur.
Wow.
And then
it don't look like it. It doesn't look like it. Look, this is the thing with boxing. I feel like this is the case more than any other sport. When you see somebody, the eyeball test is so important in boxing. They either have it or they don't. This is a potential for a career, or this is a hobby. And we didn't know much about you. I think when you were here in Dallas against Chicken, Sharita Metcalf, like that's the first time we'd seen of you. But when we left, Corey and I were both talking about how impressed we were. So you're doing the right things. You're absolutely doing the right things.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And to lead into that, 3-1 as an amateur. Why was the jump so quick?
Well, I started late. I started boxing when I was 25. And so I won Golden Gloves in 2019. And I couldn't go to nationals or anything. I only had 4 fights. So at that point, I was getting older. I fell in love with the sport, and I had confidence in myself. And my coach at that time was a predominantly pro gym. So he was like, do you want to go pro? And I was just like, shoot, I love it. I might as well make some money doing it. So I just kind of went all in, and I don't regret it.
That's a good thing. That was one of my questions, and we always ask these. I've always said this, and I probably say it every time we have a guest. There has to be a little bit of element of psychopath inside of your brain
Yes.
to do what you do,
Yeah.
because you're literally, you know, most of us sign up for job applications and we send in our resume, and it's I hope they hire me. I hope I have a good interview. But you're signing up to punch and to defend from getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
So, at what point in your life, in your career, did you say, "This is what I want to do"?
Honestly, the first time I walked into Authentic Boxing Club, I knew it. I knew it. I watched, because the first practice I just watched what they did. I just kind of observed and seen if it was the right fit, and it was. And then the next day I was down there, and I was down there every day since. It was, I don't know, boxing was the best decision. I played basketball before. I played basketball for University of Georgia, graduated from there.
Wow.
2014, and then found the boxing gym.
Now we know you 6-1 as a pro, but I want to talk about 2 fights ago when you was down here in Dallas, Texas.
All right.
I mean, the tension was high. I remember seeing you because I seen Sharetta Metcalf. She was talking trash, and you was just shaking your head like, okay, we gonna see. So tell me, what was the talking? Do you remember her talking or doing any extra stuff that made you feel like that?
Yeah, I'm not much of a talker myself. I just kind of like, I do all my training in the gym. I push myself as hard as I can, so I'm confident in what I can do in the ring. And so I felt like Chicken was picking, like trying to like intimidate me or trying to get under my skin. But in all actuality, she was just putting fuel to the flame because I already wanted it. I was already hungry, and she didn't do nothing but make me more mad. So yeah, she was doing a lot of talking.
I remember we actually had an opportunity to interview that week. And we respect the Chicken. She's very well known here in DFW, and she's done her thing. But I remember, and I don't know if you remember, Corey, the Wizard of Oz. We ain't in Kansas no more, and that was like some fighting words because
it surely was
for KC.
Yeah, but I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, so she didn't know what she was talking about.
All right, it's different. It's the wrong state. It's a wrong state.
Yes,
we had an opportunity. I'll flash up the picture. We had an opportunity to meet. It looks like something had my attention over on the right, but we had an opportunity to meet you when you were in Dallas. And Craig, remember this? We said this that, damn, she looks mean. Like you look mean. You look like you had a damn attitude when you were up there, and the face off. The face off was great. I should have put up a picture of a face off. But then you're pretty damn sweet. Like you're pretty nice and you're very pleasant. So like explain that. Like do you intentionally get mean and angry and ready, or is this something that just naturally happens?
It's just natural. It's just like I know I'm about to fight and it's either me or her, and I'm not gonna lose. You're gonna have to kill me to beat me. So at that point, it's just me and you. So here we go. We can be cool after, but right now.
Yeah, I want to go back to that Chicken fight because she had way more experience than you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what was the confidence booster with you actually going in there and dominating her from round 1 to how many rounds did y'all go?
8.
So from like round 1 to round 8, you were the dominant fighter. Tell me what type of confidence booster was that for you?
It was huge. Because you get the nerves. Like Chicken was well known. She trains with Crawford and them from their gym. Like she's all these big names. Like she's known. And then you got me, 4 amateur fights and nobody coming from Kansas City, And so I was just like it was a blessing, and I was super excited, and I don't know. It just gave me the confidence that I needed to fight Carmen Vargas next.
Yeah, and going to that, so there has been another. Obviously, we're talking about the Dallas fight because that's when you grabbed our attention. But you went on to fight Carmen Vargas. Was that a split decision, unanimous decision? How? Because she's a Houston, Texas girl, so she's well known down in Houston. And what were your thoughts? What was the game plan? Did you still have them butterflies going into that fight?
Yeah, I was nervous. I was nervous with that one too. I don't know. It's just something, but. Game plan was be long, box. I mean, she was short, pressure fighter. So I just sparred pressure fighters every day, pretty much. I was going like 30 rounds a week with guys preparing for her. And so there was nothing that she was throwing at me or nothing that she was hitting me with that I hadn't already been hit with. So that's a huge shout out to my team, Danger Fire, and all my guys that are with me. They also train me for chicken too. My coach, actually, Craig Cummins, he was my sparring partner for chicken because he had her down pat. Like my coach Craig, he's been fighting since he's been 5 years old, so he has so much experience. And so it was cool. We watched Chicken spar. We watched her fight. We did all of our research on Chicken, and then he mimicked her, and we were going round after round after round. And so to the Chicken fight, it was really my coach being my sparring partner, Craig Cummins. So
well, speaking of Carmen, right? Because when I put that picture up and I said, man, if y'all don't know about this girl, she could fight. But we knew about Carmen too, and we knew that she could fight. So when I put that up there, it was a lot of people still favoring Carmen.
Yeah.
When you see stuff like that, and you know that people are favoring her and they looking at you as the underdog, what do that do for you?
It motivates me. I'll never forget. So right before we walked out on the Carmen fight, like she walked out first because we were defending the title and I had the title. So we were in her hometown, but she was B-side. And so she walked out first and it was loud. It was rocking. And I was like, I can't let her win any round. I have to win. Like I have to just go. And so honestly, after she went out and we walked up and it was our turn, I just kind of went blank and it just happened. But I was nervous before though, for sure.
That's fucking awesome. And I forgot to mention that. Yeah, that's right. In Dallas, that was for the NABF belt, right?
Yep.
That's right. So you're a champ. That's good. Yeah, you had that belt on the line. That's awesome stuff. Yeah. Like I said, I see that mean streak in you once you're in there. Were you a fighter as a kid? Like, did you pick fights or what was that like?
I was a tomboy. I was always that was me. I was jumping fences. I was fighting for my brothers, for my cousin. Like that's all we used to always do is just fight. Like a story of my brother. We were in middle school, went to Studi Middle School in Springfield, and a girl called him a mean name, and he came and he told me. It was like the first 2 weeks of school. And so after school, I found the girl, and that was my first real fight. And they expelled me. I could not go back to the school. And from that moment on, it's just like I was fighting. Anybody who said anything wrong to me, to my family, about my mom, about anything, I was gonna fight you.
Were you like the Rasheed Wallace on the basketball court too?
Yeah, I had a little, but I was through little elbows sometimes, pick a little bit, but I don't know.
So this is like a two-part question, HolliWood, Danny. You spoke of brothers. Do you just have brothers or do you have brothers and sisters?
I have brothers and sisters.
Okay.
I just grew up with one brother though.
So with me saying that, tell me the emotions that your brothers and sisters, because you are their sister. I mean, tell me the emotions they have. Do you see a different look in their eyes when you're about to fight or finna come out and fight?
Yeah, they go crazy. They talk so much. They talk more than anybody else. They talk shit. They go crazy. They're loud. They're obnoxious. They're excited. I think it's just the fact that they actually know someone who's actually in the ring fighting. I think that does something for someone. I think it gets them a little more excited about the fights when you actually know somebody who's in there instead of just going to watch fights.
Yeah, well, look. So listen, we live in a world right now in a boxing community. I hope we're getting out of it, but we're still kind of stuck in there where everybody's protecting the undefeated record. You obviously have that blemish on your career, but it was only your third fight, right, when that happened? So talk to us a little bit about the feelings after that first loss. You were undefeated going in that fight, and then has it changed you, or what kind of impact did that loss have in your career thus far?
First, McKenna Tansley, man. I still want that fight back. I don't think I lost. I knocked her down twice and I still lost. So I mean, I don't get that. But after that fight, after they announced that she won, I just walked out of the ring. I walked past the doctors. I walked past everybody. I went straight back to the locker room and I sat in a corner and I cried. Because everybody's dream as a boxer is to have that be undefeated, and I knew I can do it. I know I was talented. I gave her everything I had, and I knew it was close, but I didn't think I lost the fight, and so I think that kind of didn't sit well with me, and I just cried. I cried for probably 2 weeks straight. I was in a little I was in a funk. It
Some
sucked.
dark times that we don't see as fans. Is them dark times. It
Yeah,
happened. Yeah. Go ahead,
but
Corey.
you
So,
overcome them though.
so tell me, speaking, JJ just said you took that first loss. Who was the one that helped pick you back up to make you forget about that loss and get back to business?
My coach, Craig Cummins, Damon Reed, they they kind of begged me for that day, but we had to drive back. We drove down to Dallas, and so when we drove back, they talked to me, they motivated me. We watched the fight over and over again. We learned from it, and honestly, it was my first. That was my first fight with my new team. That was the first fight I had with Craig and Damon.
Oh wow.
I had left Authentic Boxing Club and I had went and I had fought for a guy named Courtney Epperson for about 6 months. I fought with him. That's against Mary Gwen Valingua. I fought with him. And then I switched teams again to Craig and Damon, Danger Fire. And that was our first fight. And it was the toughest fight I had. And I was just really starting to learn how to keep my distance, my range, throw my combinations. And so I think that they used that a little bit to motivate me. Like, look, we've only been together for 6 months, and look how much better you are. You're competing with someone who's number one in her country. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly think it was a draw, or I beat her. So.
Well, that's beautiful. Look, well, you have a fight coming up on March 10th, right?
Yeah.
March 10th with Trailer Fight Club, Future Stars, March 10th in Kansas City. So you're bringing it back to the hometown.
Yep.
So, A, what does it mean to you fighting in your backyard? And B, just talk a little bit about how camp is going thus far for the big day in March.
Right. Being back at home, I haven't fought at home in a while. So I have so many friends, so many followers, so many people that follow me on social media, and they tune in and watch my fights. And so now is the opportunity for people to see me live and in person again. And I've gotten so much better over each fight. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better. I'm learning a different aspect to boxing. My coaches are showing me something different that I need to work on. And we're perfecting that in between fights, So each fight we're learning something. And so come out and see what I learned against Carmen Vargas, because I'm going to use it against Tanya Cravens. So.
Look at that mean ass picture of you. Like you're such a nice person. That picture looks like you're a real mean woman.
Let me ask you this. So you stated that you haven't fought in Kansas City in a while. Obviously, it's a lot more attention around you now since you were able to get 2 big wins in your career, right? We talk about distractions a lot with fighters, right? Especially coming back to your hometown, and especially if you got a name now, and your name is roaring in the sky. Tell me, how is it going to be for you fighting in your hometown to keep yourself away from them distractions and the pressure that comes with that?
Just being myself, honestly, just staying focused. Training camp, you asked about training camp. I feel like training camp's going awesome. You see, I got a black eye and a bruise on my lip from sparring. So, I mean, honestly, I'm just going to do what I do. I'm going to pray before I go out. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to calm down. And this is what I love. I mean, I'm 32 years old and I don't have time for distractions. So come out, come see me, be successful, come see what I learned. And then we're just going to keep moving. But distractions right now is not an option.
Listen, Danny, like we see a lot of people, right? And there's some people who you can tell have the gift, have the ability. They have the foundation and the fundamentals for the sweet science. This isn't bare knuckle boxing. This isn't UFC. There's so many or MMA. There's so many little technicalities, and I'm not knocking MMA. There's technicalities in that sport too. But you from the eyeball test again, you've got that foundation there. So are you, obviously this is a stupid question, but are you legitimately, when you go to sleep at night and when you write down your goals, are you eyeing a championship and like, what's the game plan right now? Are y'all putting things in place to get to that point?
Yeah. So right now we're ranked number 7 for the WBC.
Wow.
And my goal is to become world champion. Like, I want that title. And like I said, I got 11 fights total in my whole career, amateur and pro. And Carmen Vargas had over 50 amateur fights, Olympics, and then you got Sharetta, all these girls. So, I'm ranked number 7 already, and they're not ranked yet. So, I think I have a real good chance.
So, yeah, that's interesting. Being ranked number 7 in the WBC. So that means you're right there, because when you're like 1 through 7, you know, the champions in the division, they like to pick guys like that. That'll be a huge moment in your career. Have you fantasized in your head about being a champion?
Yeah, I think about it all the time. Like in training camp, there's a lot of times where I'm either the first one or the last one leaving the gym. And I know when I'm the last person leaving the gym and I'm just sitting there kind of thinking and meditating a little bit, it's just like I just kind of play it through my head like, and the new WBC, you know, it's just like
manifest it.
Yeah, I mean, it's my goal. It's my plan. I hope it's God's plan. And I'm giving it all I got. So, I mean, I feel like if I give it all I got, then what else can I do? I mean, I have to do it.
And we believe in you, man. We believe in you for real. Hey, listen, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about current events, the boxing scene, the business of boxing, all that good stuff. Just give a quick second. We'll be right back.
We all have battles. We fight. We train. We work. We persevere. And we celebrate. We are all one.
I can't do anything if I can't walk in my prosthetic. It's a lot of pain that I feel throughout my day. It can be very intense. Now I just put that balm over it and it will heal up much faster and it will let the callus recover. That's amazing. It is a total game changer. I am hooked. I'm just hooked.
Life is hard. KO makes it better. KOCBD.com.
Shout out to the homies at KO Therapeutics. Check out KOCBD.com. Pain relief, pain solutions, anxiety, help you sleep. KO Therapeutics. Go check out KOCBD.com. Use our discount code TSB10. I promise you guys. Hey, listen, HolliWood, you should probably check it out after a long day of sparring. I promise you, my shoulder's been messed up. My neck's been messed up. Rub this stuff on you. Actually, they were all over your last fight. Or no, you're fighting Dallas. KOCBD. Check them out.
All right.
So let me ask you this question real quick. Obviously, you know, you're into your own career and fighting as a woman. We've seen how women's fighting have jumped to an all-time high over the last 3 or 4 years. Is it any female fighter in particular that you look at and say, you know, I respect that, and that's, you know, whoop-de-whoop?
Yeah. So I love Michaela Mayer and Katie Taylor. I feel like I like their styles kind of is something that simulates to me a little bit. But Alicia Baumgartner, she shocked me with that. Honestly, she came out there and did her thing. Alicia Baumgartner is a big one. But a sneaky one that I really like is Shardasia Green. Do you guys know anything about Shardasia Green?
Mm-hmm.
I think she's a monster, and I look forward to seeing her and Carissa Shields fight because I think it's going to be a banger.
That's great. And listen, I'm glad you brought up. It's interesting that, hey, before we go though, I want to give a shout out though. You had Rutherford Management Corporation saying definitely a future world champion. You have El Chapo here saying, Danny, the champ, you're going to be undisputed one day. Mark my words. Hey, listen. She's got the skill set. So just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, going back to there, we had, 2022 was the year that kind of, y'all didn't knock on the door. Women didn't ring the doorbell. They didn't wave at the Ring doorbell camera. Women busted the door down in 2022.
Yes, Amanda Serrano, man.
Serrano, which was actually, we have an annual, we do our annual awards, and Serrano and Katie Taylor won our
women's fight of the
year. Amazing event. Yeah. What it meant for women's boxing, what it meant for boxing. But, we saw those people kind of raising to the top. You mentioned Alicia Baumgartner. Now, like, what do you make of like the drama that's behind it all? The men got their drama. I feel like the women's drama is a little bit different. And
it's more petty, right? Women's drama is a little.
And you know, most of the time the fellas will shake hands, good fight. You see them later on pictures. These women still hate each other after
Yes.
the fact. So
Yes,
like, what do you
Alicia and
think about
Michaela still going at it. Oh my
this?
goodness.
Yeah, Bumgarner, but Mayer, and then Clarissa Shields, and geez, I'm forget Savannah Marshall.
Yes.
Everybody's just pissed off at each other. So,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts about that? Do you think they're selling it, or do you think there's some genuine hostility there?
I think it's genuine, but I also think it's selling tickets. But I think it's genuine. I think that especially Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgartner, I think that's genuine hate right there. I think them girls don't like each other.
And they can
But it sells tickets.
So you speak on Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgartner. They did just how they fight where Baumgartner became the unified champion. Now she is the undisputed champion. It was a lot of people who thought Michaela Mayer won that fight. Did you see it that well? Did you think Baumgartner won?
I think Baumgartner outboxed her, which is crazy because that's Michaela. That's her thing is boxing. She's a boxer, but I think Alicia got in her head, and I think she won that fight. I think that you got to give her that. She won.
Yeah, and then another close fight was the Serrano Katie Taylor fight. What do you think about that?
I think Serrano won that fight.
Yeah.
I do. I think Katie was. I think that she kind of maybe underestimated her a little bit or whatever. But I think if Serrano would have started out a little better the first few rounds, if she would have started off a little faster, there would have been no way that the judges could have gave it to Katie. I think Serrano came out giving Katie Taylor a lot of respect, you know, and but I think she won that fight for sure. I think it was close, but I think she won the fight.
I'm going to just be honest. I had it 96-94 for Taylor, but I wouldn't have been mad at a draw, and I wouldn't have been mad at Serrano won. But I'll tell you what, I can't wait for the rematch.
I'm telling you, I wish I can go watch that one in person, but they're going over there with Katie, I think, on this one. So I'm going to have to watch on TV.
I like talking to fighters because I know it's a cliche when they say they had the best training camp ever, right? Mm-hmm. And after each fight, especially with women, because with women fighters now, it's like if you 6-1, you can get a championship fight. So tell me this. Do training camp intense more for you in each fight?
Yeah. Yeah, my coaches, like I said, we're like each fight, we look at the fight, we watch the fight, we analyze it, and then we work on what we need to work on to become a little bit better. Because at this point, I feel like I'm going to get everybody's best fight. It don't matter if they're 2-7, it don't matter if they're 8-0, they're going to give me everything they got. So I have to be prepared. And I feel like with each training camps, my coaches are teaching me something new, and they're pushing me to that next level day in and day out. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I had a question lined up for you about that, and I'm trying to remember it, and it just completely slipped my mind. So I'm going to go back to talking about the girls and the potential rematches. We got Amanda Serrano and Taylor coming back up. Are you leaning back with Serrano, or have you seen anything like, or what's that look like?
I think I'm going to go with Serrano, and then I'm going to go that they have a third fight, and then I'll tell you what I think about that one after this one.
and then, like, you know, we got Clarissa. We had her on the show, and we think the world of her. If you had to name yourself a GOAT right now, you know, we saw you taking pictures with Christy Martin when you were in Dallas. Like, who's your GOAT? Who's your GOAT for women's boxing?
My GOAT, greatest of all time. Man, I love Amanda Serrano, but you got to give it to Clarissa. I think that she's done the work. She proves herself day in and day out. She has so many haters out here too, and she always just comes out on top. And she's doing big things. And all respect to Clarissa, yeah, she's doing her thing out there.
So, excuse me, quick question. With you getting more popularity, do you have any hecklers coming to you, you know, like your Instagram, Facebook pages now, when you have a fight coming up with the other opponent?
Not really, honestly. I'm kind of on the I mean, I got a lot of people that know me from where I'm from, but not a lot of people know me really yet. So
you brace yourself. Brace yourself because it's gonna come, and everybody, you know, it's a weird thing about boxing. It's like you can't just be a fan of the sport these days. You have to like pick teams and stuff. So
yeah,
brace yourself. But when you said earlier you envision yourself being a champ,
Mhm.
you know, and here's a crazy thing about women. The women's boxing side of it is they've been bouncing back from different weights and all that sort of deal, going up and down in multiple weight divisions like this. Do you have a style in mind? Do you have somebody in mind? And you can use this opportunity to call somebody out or not, but do you have, who do you think, or maybe there's 2 or 3 of them that maybe we're going to be there at the World Championship around the same time? Do you have anybody in mind, or is it just anybody can anybody can get it?
Yeah, so there's this girl named Ellie Scottney, and then Ramala Ali. She's ranked number 25, and I'm ranked number 24 right now. But she has a lot more exposure than me. So those are 2 girls, and then you got Ebony Bridges, and you got Jamie Mitchell. You got so many people that are ranked higher than me, but I would like to fight. Because just because you're ranked higher than me and got more experience than me, what's that mean?
And look, I know you said you were watching a lot of film, and you guys go back and dissect film. To me, film is so important. Like, it's so important to study it. So it sounds like you've been kind of getting better every fight. How do you project? Like, how far are you from World Championship? Like, when you're self-evaluating yourself, what kind of work do you still have? How far down the timeline? Like, how much do you have left before you think you can be ready to compete with the champs?
I just want 10 fights. But honestly, if the right person called now and it was the right title fight now and everything was, I would take it now, and I would just train my ass off. But honestly, I feel like if I get 3 or 4 more fights under my belt, a little more experience, get some more rounds in me, get with my coaches, and just keep grinding, I feel like I'll be really ready. Probably, honestly, at the end of this year, beginning of next year, like, let's go.
I love it.
So, where's your weight at now?
This next fight, I'm gonna fight at 126. I've been fighting at 122, but I walk around at like 133.
That's another question. As tall as you are, and you are tall, for a female fighter, is it hard for you to make that weight? Is that the reason why you're moving to 126 now?
No. Honestly, I get a little hungry when I get down to 18, but I've never really struggled with making my weight. My diet is I'm pretty good with my diet. And I train really hard. So I've never missed a weight. I've never had a problem making weight. The lowest I've been is 116, and the most I've been is 127. So
it sounds like you
said my first fight against my very first fight, it was in Springfield. What's her name though? LaShonda? Something like that. Something like that, Franklin. And she weighed 140 and I was 126 in the gym, but I weighed in with sweatpants, a hoodie, a cell phone in my pocket, and I got it to 132, so it made it possible. So I guess the highest weight or the most weight, she's the biggest person I've ever fought at 139.5.
Wow.
So where do you see yourself? What weight do you see? Well, basically what I'm trying to say, what weight do you see yourself competing for that world championship? Or are you just open to 122, 126, and 130, either one that come?
For a world title, I'm really comfortable at 122. 122 is a great weight for me. It's easy. It's not hard for me. Like for Carmen, I was eating and drinking the night before weigh-ins, I was fine. And then with Sharetta, I weighed in 120 and I was eating and drinking the night before with her too. 118, I don't like getting down because like I said, I get hungry, but I would also take a title fight at 118 as well. 118 and 122 is where I would definitely take that world title shot.
Well, that's awesome, Miss HolliWood. So look, we appreciate you jumping on. Before we jump off and let you go get some rest, because I know you're in camp. Just let everybody know where they could get tickets. Let everybody know where they could find you, your social media, all that good stuff. But let's get the word out to KC and the entire country. But let's definitely put your name out in the Midwest.
Yes, tune in. So March 10th, at Memorial Hall, KCK. I have tickets available. Just it's on Instagram. Follow me on HolliWoodDanny.b. DM me on there, or on Facebook, Danielle Bennett. You'll know it when you see it. Message me on there. If you're in the area, I can definitely come and link up with you. Springfield, St. Joe, anywhere surrounding. I'm mobile. Let's get these tickets sold. Let's show these promoters that I'm worth the time. I'm worth the effort, and I'm worth promoting. You know, I got to get you guys behind me. So follow.
Before I let you go, know you from Kansas City. Congratulations on your city winning the championship. Congratulations.
Yeah, and we're Dallas folks. We
hurt.
need y'all to win that game.
We from Dallas.
Thank you.
The Kansas City Chiefs, the original Dallas Texans, they winning this championship. Wow.
Small world. We're all connected.
Travis Kelce and Mahomes.
We appreciate you. Well, Danny, good luck to you in your next fight. We hope to see you again on here soon. You're welcome anytime. Like I said before, and like I said when we set this up, we believe in you. You got our attention, and keep being yourself, Danny, because you got such a charming personality, but you're angry in the ring. That's gonna sell itself. So keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you, and we hope to hear from you very, very soon. Good luck at your fight, March 10th.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Danny, man. Look forward to having you back on here real soon.
With some straps next time.
More
straps.
Yeah.
All right, take it easy, Danny.
All right, thank you guys. See you.
Mr. Bradshaw, got a lot to talk about tonight, dog. And
it is, man. Shout out to HolliWood, Danny, man. I'm telling everybody, like, I know everybody into women's fighting now because women fighting is definitely on the uprise. But I'm telling y'all, that woman can fight her ass off. If y'all not following HolliWood Danny, I advise everybody on her who cover the sport of boxing or who just a fan of boxing, please follow that young woman.
Yeah, she got a bright future. Hey, let's take a little break and then let's catch up because there's a lot of stuff to cover tonight, Mr. Correa. We'll be right back.
All right, listen up, guys. We're calling all Little League coaches. We're calling all middle school coaches, calling all high school coaches. We're calling out all those team mamas. If you need team uniforms, if you need jerseys, accessories, whatever gear you're looking for the team, please check out our friends over at Elite Sportswear. These guys do it all, and they do it great. So if you're needing a brand new look for the younger athletes, for the teams, do me a favor, trust us with Elite Sportswear. These guys do all of our gear here at Spit Bucket Podcast, hats, shirts, hoodies. We could not be more pleased with them. So check them out over at thebetteruniform.com. You can find them on Facebook at The Better Uniform or on Instagram, Elite Sportswear 17. That's Elite Sportswear 17 on Instagram. Again, if you want your team looking super fly on game days, do yourself a favor, do the squad a favor. Call Roderick and the team over at Elite Sportswear ASAP. Let them know the Spit Bucket Podcast sent you.
Shout out to Elite Sportswear and my brand new hoodie. My brand spanking new hoodie. But yeah, for real, you guys need any type of team gear, whatever the case, check out our homies over at Elite Sportswear. These guys will do it right. They'll get your boys or your girls or whatever team sport y'all are playing looking super, super dope. But yeah, you got anything to say, Mr. Correa, before we go on?
Yeah, man, shout out to Elite, man. Shout out to them. We appreciate them for doing this partnership with us. Like you say, anybody out there, if you're in team sports or any type of business you in, please make sure y'all go holler at Elite.
No doubt. Holler at E Thriller, the Black Picasso.
Shout out to E Thriller, the Black Picasso.
We might have some popcorn.
He got a show tonight at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yeah, you guys sign up. Y'all go subscribe to Mr. E Thriller, the Black Picasso. His show is incredible. The guy takes his time painting beautiful pictures for so many things that we debate daily in the boxing world. So shout out.
Oh yeah, he definitely the truth. He definitely one of the new waves when it comes to this boxing.
No doubt, man. Well, look, let's jump into some breaking news from the day, from the week, man. We'll start off with, what can we start off with? Let's talk about, look, this is a hot topic. Conor Benn. WBC has cleared him. They gave him a little warning. They put him aside, had a little chit chat with him. And it turns out that the WBC cleared him. They put him back on the rankings. And the weirdest thing about it all is they blamed it on some damn eggs. Here's the part of their statement, but the part that I find most ridiculous is the WBC found there was no conclusive evidence that he engaged in intentional or knowing ingestion. So meaning if you don't know, it's okay? Question mark. I doubt it. And then they're saying that Mr. Benn's documented and highly elevated consumption of eggs during this times relevant to the sample collection raise a reasonable reason. So it's eggs, bro. He wasn't cheating. He was eating eggs. Corey, what are your thoughts on Conor Benn coming back? What are your thoughts on the WBC letting him back into the rankings? Let's talk to me, dog.
I mean, woo too, Conor Benn, you're back. But it just surprises me, Jay, about these. How do you get caught for popping? How do the tests come up dirty, then they come back not dirty, and then y'all say it's for eggs? I truly don't get that. Because if you're looking at Conor Benn's physique,
yeah,
and see how the way his physique changed, that ain't some shit that just magically happened overnight. In this situation, it is what it is. Conor Benn is a big name across the pond. You hear me, Jay? He a big name across the pond.
Absolutely, dog.
I think the WBC recognized that. I think they see a lot of dollars and cents when it comes to Conor Benn. So I think they found a way to truly sweep this under the rug. Look, love the WBC. You know, one of the most prestigious, if not the most prestigious belt in boxing. But they need to be held accountable for this because we need answers. Don't come out here telling us that there was no eggs. Eggs? Really?
Eggs, dog. Eggs. And listen, man, like I'm glad you said that about the WBC because I wanted to talk about that. I'm not that mad at Conor Benn. If you get caught for something, Corey, you're going to go down swinging. You're going to appeal. You're going to deny. You're going to do all that, right? So I'm not mad at Conor. I'm mad at Conor for eating too many eggs or whatever the hell. I'm mad at Conor for testing positive. But the WBC, you guys are supposed to be the most prestigious. That green belt, at least in my opinion, the green belt has always been the belt to me. It was like that 1996, 1995 WWF championship belt. It's that green belt. And dog, they're starting to turn in. I don't know how to say this politically correct, but they're starting to turn into like, I don't know if the word slut is allowed, but they're just like boxing groupies. Like, I love Mauricio Suleiman. I love his pops, Jose Suleiman. I love what they've represented in the sport. But now you got things like all these belts they're making. Now you're ranking Jake Paul, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Now you're giving Conor Benn a pass because he didn't know he was. I'm dumbfounded, dog. I'm at a loss for words. Like, I know he's a big name overseas, but how is that more important?
Is that what they said, Jay? Because he didn't know.
That's what they said. Let's read the statement again on number 2. The first one. There was no conclusive evidence that Mr. Benn engaged in intentional or knowing ingestion of clomiphene, or however the hell you say that word. So because he didn't know, that's how easy it is to get past.
Is that the same thing Canelo got popped for?
No, he got popped for clenbuterol. And the difference is he had the meat market. Look, I'm not defending Canelo either, not one bit. Because, again, when you test positive, it puts that question mark forever, in my opinion, all right? But at least he provided samples from the meat market. He had the meat people provide samples, and they proved that this was elevated. I didn't buy it back then, but at least he tried. The WBC right now, they didn't test those eggs, dog. They didn't do nothing. All they did was sweep it under the rug, and they did an investigation. They said Conor didn't know, and they blamed it on some damn eggs, bro.
AJ, you know that stuff he was taking? That stuff was so powerful, it could knock a freaking horse out, bro. It was so powerful, it could knock a freaking horse out. And like I said, man, the WBC, this is turning into a money show. With all these organizations, Jay. It must be the money, you know, because or my Jerry Maguire was show me the money. It's all about the money now with these guys instead of holding these guys accountable. Now he wanna sit up there at the WBC and make that statement about the eggs, right? Well, what about everybody else who been popped dirty? Well, what about them who been popped dirty? Y'all didn't make statements for them, a lot of other people. But since Conor Benn, his dad is Nigel Benn, and Nigel Benn is a big deal across the pond and in the States because he was a good fighter. It's like they just sweeping it under the rug, bro. I'm sorry. This is a total disservice to the WBC. It's a total disservice to the sport of boxing. And then, I don't like how Conor Benn coming out talking. Did you see what he said to Errol Spence?
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here. Conor, Errol Spence, you've been talking the most, and well, I'm reinstated. I'll have you next. You worry about handling your drink driving convictions, wanker. He pulled a wanker word. That's throwing some shots in overseas.
What do wanker what is that in an American talk?
Calling somebody bitch,
like
asshole.
A B?
Yeah, like you asshole, you bitch. Like it's just like wanker. You're a dumbass. It's
and you know what?
word.
I like Earl Spence's response. He said drink and PEDs, two different things. Difference between me and you, I owned up to my shit. You just a cheater like your daddy. And JJ, we have to bring that up. His daddy, Nigel Benn, has been tested positive before back in the gap for putting that word stuff in your system. They say birds of a feather flock together, and we talked about this. Think about the power that Nigel Benn had. Think what he did to one of our great American fighters in Gerald McClendon. So just think about that, Jay. You got to understand, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's what I learned about the sport of boxing, right? And Nigel Benn, to be at the level, because he was at that level, you put some of that word stuff in your body. That's why, JJ, I don't like everybody who was snack programmed, they suspect to me. I'm sorry. I'm not putting that jacket on your back. You're just suspect. If you're working with a dude who said he could pass any drug test, any fighter from Devin Haney to Caleb Plant to Demetrius Andrade, any fighter is suspect with me because this is my thing right here. Knowing that this guy is the GOAT, JJ, not just the greatest of all time when it comes to mixing that word shit together. Why would you fighters decide to go to him? JJ, look, like I said, I can't put that jacket on their back. But JJ, why would a fighter decide to go with him knowing his history? I'm befuddled with that.
And he made a comment about it today, and I thought I had his tweet up, but I don't think I brought it up. But he came out and was bashing the WBC. And look, I'm with you. A lot of fighters that I respect, from Terrence Crawford to Devin Haney to Shakur Stevenson, I love these guys. They're a big reason why I watch the sport, and they're a big part of the future. So I'm not going to come out and say, I'm accusing you of this shit, but I'm going to say it raises a red flag. And if I'm Shakur, and if I'm Devin Haney, and if I'm Terrence Crawford, those three guys or Caleb Plant, those guys I just mentioned, those guys have all the skills in the world. Why do you need to even put doubt on your career is my question. If it was me or if it was my son, why would I sign up for that shit? He's a convicted felon. But he's bashing the WBC, so I don't even know what the hell that means. This whole damn thing is silly, dog. But look, I put up another tweet from Spence where I did pull up Victor Conti. Victor Conti put up, it's ridiculous. The WBC ruling Benn case completely ignores the strict liability rule and seems to lack credible supportive evidence, including testing of the specific brand of eggs. Look, this is the first time I ever agree with Victor on anything because I don't like him being in the sport. I'm just nothing personal, dog. I believe in second chances, but not when it involves life or death. And I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel about it. But even Victor Conti, the godfather of PEDs, is talking about the WBC. How do you think that looks, dog? How do you think that looks? Is that for
honestly, I can't take Victor Conti serious. Like I said, this is a guy who said he could pass any drug test. So and we know it was a lot of guys. We know this dude got convicted and went to jail, right? And for putting the illegal stuff in your system. So how's a guy who did that gonna point fingers and throw salt when you was all in another sport for years cheating the system? So what Victor Conte talk, it go through one ear and not the other. I'm sorry, I just can't respect a guy like that or take him serious, knowing what you did in just sports, period.
Boy, and he still knows the secrets, bro. Him and that memo dude, they're always going back and forth about who knows more. But this is what I was going to pull up earlier. Errol said this, and tell me if you agree. Fighters in the top 5 should have to do year-round drug testing. He said PEDs only, though. You know what that means. Make it mandatory to get in top 5, at least 10 test randoms per year with once-a-year hair test. What do you think about Errol saying that the testing needs to be harder?
No, I agree. I agree, JJ. This is a dangerous sport, right? You know, these guys who actually taking real punches from guys who've been in training camps, especially on this world-class level. So when you're on this world-class level, JJ, you're going to have the best of everything, the best of nutrition, the best strength and conditioning. You're going to have the best of everything. So you're going to be a machine coming into that fight. Now, when a guy knows that he's going to be a machine already working out, then you putting that weird stuff in your system, like you're Godzilla now, fam. So I agree 100% with Earl Spence for the safety of these fighters, because you hear guys like Jermell Charlo, who is an advocate of it. He say, I put my life on the line when I come in this ring. And my thing is with that, you know I'm like this. I understand fighters put their life on the line, and I respect that. But nobody held no gun to you fighters' head to get in the ring. So you chose to put your life on the line. Me saying that. But we knowing that these guys getting in the ring and putting their life on the line, which they chose to do, with a guy putting some weird stuff in their system, bro, they could actually kill these dudes in the ring. And I think that's despicable for the sport of boxing. Like, I really don't understand why it's not a bigger outrage that Victor Conte is in our sport.
I will never understand that. And again, that's not a shot at the fighters that are represented by him but again, if it was me and it was, or if one of those guys was on my team, why the hell would you take a chance, bro? Like, why would you take a chance? I got a question for you though, bro. What'd you think about Domino shooting a shot at Conor Benn? Bro, he's getting roasted up on social media, dog.
Yeah, but like, look, I just can't, like Conor Benn, I'm sorry, fam. Like, it's just not respectable. Like, everything he getting is deservingly so. He needs to get all that attention, like, for them to come back and say some eggs.
Dog, it doesn't make no sense. And dude, it's
Like,
gonna open up the door to cheating. Because now they're gonna say, well, I didn't know. Well, you let Conor off the hook, WBC, because he didn't know. And it's just going to open the door. So,
it's a triangle effect, JJ.
Bro, it's a bad look for the WBC. It's bad on boxing. It's bad for safety. It's hypocritical. Like, how the hell do you care about fighter safety if you're just going to give a guy – was that even a slap on the wrist? Hell no, it wasn't a slap on the wrist.
If I'm fighters right now, I don't take the fight with Conor Benn. Look, if I'm fighters right now, I don't take the fight. But if I'm the top level fighter, I do not take a fight with this guy right now, because it's clear, no debating, that this guy knows how to beat the system. And JJ, look, he beat the system for a long time until he got caught. Now the WBC say, oh, this guy, he's a big deal over there. So we need this guy. So if I'm any top fighter, I say, no, sir, not today. I just string him along. No,
I'm with you, dude. For 2 reasons. For my safety, not saying that these guys are scared of each other, but still, you should be concerned about your safety. And he don't look, man, I'm not a judge. I'm not better than nobody, but you failed a test, dog. You failed a test. And then I would respect the man more if he said, all right, I made a mistake. You know what I mean? But he's just getting away with it, dog. I got no respect for the man. and I've lost respect for his dad too. Cause like you said, the G-Man, well, this guy coming out the 90s, he was supposed to be the next big thing, and now he's a vegetable. So forever in my mind, it's gonna be a giant question mark if Gerald McClellan deserves to be a vegetable right now for your little pat on the back. I will, if I was Conor Benn, I might as well stop, because from here on out, anything good he does is always going to be in question. He might as well just go to whatever, go look for a new job, go start submitting your resume. Because in my opinion, dog, he's done in boxing. Even his own fan base is turning on him, bro.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I don't think a guy like that deserves the clout, the notoriety. Like I stated, if I'm any one of these top fighters right now, at least the next year, you know, I say no to this guy. You know, you got to earn your way back up here by taking clean tests. And like I say, even when the guy, it get blamed on the eggs, like Earl Spence said, if you in the top 5, especially with him now, I don't care. He needs to always be on the program. He needs to always get tested. I don't care if it came back. Even with Canelo, should always get tested. Any fighter who even get caught positive, and then they come back and say, oh, it was because I ate this. Yeah, okay, but you still got caught positive. Okay, they're going to put a slap on your wrist, but you still have to test numerous times.
Absolutely, dog. Couldn't agree with you more. Hey, I'm going to talk a little bit. We're going to jump over to Plant Benavides, but before then, Corey, let's talk a little bit about this. What we got coming up this weekend, bro?
Hey, man, we got the second annual weekend at Honor Boxing, you know, and for the second year in a row, well, this is actually our third time hosting this event, but for the second year in a row, the Spit Bucket Podcast, we hosting the tournament, and it's going to be a big show out. Our last time doing it, everybody showed up and showed out. We got a lot more we bring in this year. Excitement, and it's just an honor, right, JJ? You know, when you put in the hard work, you know, people in the city recognize that, and not only do they recognize it, you know, they want you to be the host, and they put some respect on your name with the dollars behind it, fam, because they appreciate your service and what you do. And we got to appreciate Roger Rodis of Honor Boxing Gym for once again, and shout out to the USA Boxing LD. What is it?
LB 26.
Yeah, LB 20.
Yep.
Shout out to y'all for also giving us an opportunity again to be a part of the city. Because I tell everybody this, Jay, like, it's not all about pro fighting with me, fam. Mm-hmm. You know, because I tell anybody, if you're covering pro fighting, if you're in the media and that's what you do and you're going to these fights, you have to start from the root of the fruit. And the root of the fruit is these amateur boxers, because all these amateur boxers, at least most of them, is going to turn into the next Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. Oh, yeah. You never know. And I feel like it's our due diligence, especially in our city, to make sure as much attention we get these pro fighters, we get these amateur fighters the same.
No doubt, dude. And you mentioned hard work from our end earlier, but I want everybody who's in DFW, man, right there in West Dallas. It's right between Dallas and Fort Worth. Y'all come check it out, because y'all be amazed at how these kids work so hard. Little kids. Most kids are talking about eating Cheetos and playing video games, and these kids they dedicate their whole life to the sport. And not just kids. There's going to be grown amateurs too. But come out and support the kids. Come out and support the folks that are choosing this career. And I mean, they want to put on a show. So y'all come out, check it out. February 25th, 26th, the Flores Ballroom, Dallas, Texas. Buy your tickets there on location. And check out our social media. If y'all have any questions, hit us up. But we'd love to see all you guys out there. But we can't wait to be part of it. We appreciate Roger and the team. We appreciate
and this is my thing too, Jay. We always show up and show out for these amateurs. You know, I'm calling all media, the people who actually in the field, who actually go out here and cover these fights. I'm calling y'all out to make sure y'all come and support these amateur fighters, just like y'all support these pro fighters. Don't try to support the pro fighters when they get up, or amateurs when they get up. Come support them now while they at where they at, and then when they get up. That's a problem that I have with most media, not just in Dallas, but media all across the world. Y'all show up to these amateurs, and I'm talking about the ones who are in the field, who actually cover the sport, right? I got a problem with y'all not showing up to these tournaments and giving these kids they just do, because these same kids who in these tournaments, who grinding hard every day, 3 years later, when there's somebody, now y'all want to come around and hug them and pat them on their shoulders and tell them they all this and that. No, come around now. Why they at where they at?
Facts, bro. You preaching over there. Hey, look, man. So we got a big fight coming up March 25th. Much anticipated fight between Caleb Plant and David Benavidez, super middleweight championship. Is this a title fight? This is a title eliminator, right?
Yeah, title fight.
It's title fight, yeah. My bad. But
I think it's a title. I think he's the under. I think Benavidez got the underbelt.
Yeah.
I know Canelo got all the belts, so it's for the underbelt. The intercontinental championship belt.
But dog, have you checked out DavidBenavidez.com?
Yeah, absolutely.
Caleb Plant
Yes,
is playing mind games.
Yeah.
Caleb Plant recently bought the domain name DavidBenavidez.com, and he's using that website to sell his merch. Correct. We saw Caleb try to play some mind games with Canelo. He's turning that shit on extra advanced level. Do you think this will have an impact on the fight, bro? The mind games.
Yeah, and now I think it have an effect, like when you getting ready for a fight and you seeing this and you like, this mother, he brought like whoopty whoop.
Yeah.
So that'll have an effect in them. And when they get in the ring, possibly it could, but I think when you at this level, I don't think that them type of distractions should be able to bother you. But what I do like about it, it is bothering David Benavidez.
No doubt.
These tactics that Caleb Plant is doing is bothering him, right? And I just look forward to the fight, Jay. I got Caleb Plant. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with the boxer over a flat-footed puncher all day long. Not saying David Benavidez can't win this fight, but I'm gonna go with the pure boxer who moves around the ring, a guy who stays in shape, a guy who we could trust that's gonna come in there and make weight. With David Benavidez, he lived his lifestyle, right? He tried to be all flashy, so we know he gets super big. And then when you see him at the weigh-ins, Jay, he sucked all the way in. So I don't know what David Benavidez coming to the table. I thought it was classless. What his father did. I think what his father did at that the first press conference, I think that was big time motivation for Caleb Plant. Just a pure disrespect, because like he said, you ain't getting in the ring. Who are you to call me a pussy? Who are you to call me a bitch when you never did this? Only thing you did was push your sons to do this. You never been inside the square circle to do this.
Dog, and you know what's crazy, bro? That whole shit with his dad. A lot of these boxers have their dad to sell the tickets and to do all the talk. But I don't think I've ever seen a fan base turn on a man so quick because of his dad. I've seen so many. Obviously there's a lot of race involved in boxing. I've seen a lot of Mexican people turn on David Benavidez simply because of the actions of his pops. And that's a bad look, man. At some point, he's going to have to sit his pops down and say, look, I appreciate you, Dad, but you're rubbing people the wrong way.
He do the same shit, though, Jay.
But he's the one that's going to be in the ring,
I know, but birds of a feather flock together, and that's the man who, is the reason why David Benavidez is here, right? So he do the same thing. So he only doing what he see his daddy do, and it's not going to be a problem because they successful. They undefeated. They never lost no fight. So it's never going to be a problem, Jay, until they lose a fight. So he like, their dad talk. Call him a pussy. And even with David Benavidez, dude, you've been begging for one of these big fights for a long time. You up there at the podium talking about we could do it right now. Man, sit your ass down somewhere.
Yeah, dog. It's
You
something
just
else,
ready
bro.
to fuck up all the money right now.
Yeah.
And another thing, I don't like the way a lot of these Mexican American fighters
Fighters. Okay.
like to play off Mexico. Talking about he ain't no Mexican monster. You the Mexican American monster. Like that kills. I'm saying this. That kills me. Like, you don't see black fighters coming out playing to Africa or African stuff like that. You only see a lot of these Mexican fighters who was born in America, JJ, who try to use Mexico to make money. If I'm fighters from Mexico, if I'm the country people from Mexico, I look at these fucking Mexican Americans like they ain't shit because you motherfuckers ain't doing nothing. You motherfuckers in America getting all the fruits and labor. Y'all ain't over in Mexico helping us with anything. I'm just saying, though.
I can tell you're passionate about it, and it bothers me a little bit too. But whenever I get bothered, I try to understand why or what or where it's coming from. And it's all money, bro. We've seen Steph Fulton, right, come out in red, white, and green. Cool Boy Steph. I think it was Cool Boy Steph. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. We seen Tank Davis come out with the sombrero.
That's not making no money, JJ.
It's appealing to them. And same thing. Let's talk about TBE came out with. We've never seen those three guys come out.
But that's not making no money, Jay. That's playing to.
It's getting the attention. It's getting that attention. So now, even if you're not a fan of it, now those Mexicans who maybe weren't watching it hate that guy because they feel like they're mocking it. However you want to touch Mexico, it's going to make money. Whether you're going to act like one of them or you're trying to mock them, it's going to make money. So David Benavidez, he's not even, like you said, he's not even half Mexican, bro. And for him, it's all money, dog.
But JJ, when you say they
Mexican
come out,
style, all that shit, Mexican style, it's money, dude.
I know, but when you say Floyd Mayweather, Steph Fulton, they coming out in a uniform, boy. They playing to the crowd. They not all in the videos saying, "Oh, I want to be the next great fighter from Mexico." What, motherfucker? You from Phoenix, Arizona, and you talking about you want to be the next great Mexican fighter? Like, come on, JJ, man.
Here's going to be the answer. If he ever gets that fight against Canelo Alvarez, who do you think the Mexicans are going to be cheering for? David Benavidez or Canelo, the second coming of Jesus Alvarez?
But JJ, that's a no-brainer.
That's what I'm saying. He can appeal all he wants to the Mexican fan base. As soon as it comes down to real Mexicans or not, they're going to drop him on his ass. And then all these American fans that would have supported him are going to drop him on his ass. It's just a bad look. Be yourself, dog. Be yourself. Yourself isn't red, white, and green. Yourself is red, white, and blue. And throw some love. Like Oscar De La Hoya used to. He used to come out with his red, white, and green on one leg, red, white, and blue on the other. But don't just plant your flag in the country of Mexico that you probably visited 7 times your whole life. I don't know, dog.
What's up? They don't got love for America or something? I mean, they stay over here. They from here through the Mexicans who born here in America. They don't got love for America, the red, white, and blue. Like, they don't want to go nowhere. They ain't talking about, oh, I'm finna go stay in Mexico. They don't got love for America. You don't hear me saying, oh, I'm not from Africa. I'm from the United States of America. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm a fucking American.
Me too. And I have gotten into plenty of arguments arguing this, man. And it's a shame, but Correa, it's a money grab, bro. It's money.
Yeah,
but he's playing it wrong, bro.
I can't, like, I'm sorry. I just can't cheer for guys like that. I'm sorry. I can't cheer for guys like that, especially when you sitting on your own country you from in America. I can't cheer for guys like that. If you want to wear the red, white, and green, go stay in Mexico. Go get you a dual citizenship where you stay in Mexico now. I just can't respect guys like that who don't got respect for their own country and got more respect for another country that they not from. I can't respect that. Like, I wouldn't respect any black dude who was born in America, lived in America, but talking about African. Shut up. You from America.
Yeah. I agree, dog. We're the only country where our people get away with stuff like this. I say our people, I mean Americans, where you can just shit on the country you're from and support wherever your great grandma is from or something like that. But look, man, let's take one more break. We have the big super fight with Ryan and Tank allegedly coming up, but something I wanted to touch on that. Let's take one quick break, and we'll close the night out.
We all have battles. We fight. We train. We work. We persevere. And we celebrate. We are all one.
I can't do anything if I can't walk in my prosthetic. It's a lot of pain that I feel throughout my day. It can be very intense. Now I just put that balm over it and it will heal up much faster and it will let the callus recover. That's amazing. It is a total game changer. I am hooked. I am absolutely, I'm just hooked.
Life is hard. KO makes it better. KOCBD.com.
All right, man. Before we left, we talked a little bit about the Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, supposed to happen on April 15th. Hasn't been announced yet. Apparently, all the contracts are signed. Corey, what are you feeling at this point right now about this fight?
I'm excited.
Is it going to happen?
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen. I'm excited, bro.
How do you explain this? Did you see this? Let's shout out to Ellie for putting this up, but check it out. Did you see what Mr. Garcia had to say?
Stay tuned. I'm fighting in April, and we're going to get it on with whoever. Stay tuned. I'm fighting in April, and we're going to get it on with whoever. Stay tuned. I'm fighting in April, and we're going to get it on with whoever.
He said with whoever, bro. This was this week. Is that not a red flag? Is that not a
what
red
exactly
flag?
did he say, Jay? I couldn't hear him.
He says, stay tuned. We're going to get on. I'm fighting in April with whoever. This was this week, dog. Fight hasn't been announced yet. Are you worried at all that this fight isn't happening? I just wanted to show that clip because Ryan just said it.
I'm not concerned because I see Tank in training camp. I see Tank. Every time Tank got a fight coming up, he talking about it, and he have the weasel dickhead and Ellie Sekbeck down there with him, the one who paying for Tank interviews. If you notice, Tank don't do interviews with nobody else because Ellie pays for all of them. Hey, good for Ellie. Tank, one of the top fighters in the world. So, if you want to come out your pocket, if you're that thirsty like that, so you have to pay him for an interview, hey, so be it. But with Ellie being down there and Ellie talking about, Javante and Ryan Garcia, Ellie not going to be down there for no reason, Jay. He really not. He's not going to be down there for no reason. You hear Oscar De La Hoya, you hear Bernard Hopkins, the great Bernard Hopkins, former undisputed 20-type defenses, who we did an excellent interview with. When he come out, co-signing that fight as well, bro. I think this fight is going to happen. I don't think it's not going to. I think it's going to happen, Jay. I really, truly do think this fight is going to happen April 15th. And not just that, it's going to be the biggest fight of the year.
And the spit bucket will be there. All right, bro. Well, man, it's been a good show, dog. If you're ready to wrap up, we go ahead and wrap up before we
Do you think it's going to happen?
Huh?
Do you think it's going to happen?
Do I think Ryan and Tank? I'm a little bit concerned with it. I'm a little bit concerned with, again, I'm going to
Stay tuned. I'm fighting in April, and we're going to get it on with whoever.
I don't know why he said with whoever, bro. Like, that part just kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. This was this week, dude. The fight.
You know what it is? Because it's like when you the A side, which Tank is, clearly no debate. I know Ryan Garcia a big name, but he's not the A side. You get treated like you're the B side. And when you're used to being the A side, which Ryan Garcia is, that's a different feeling. So usually he be in control, Jose Jr. He be in control of the fights and knowing when they're going to happen because he the A side. Now he's not in control of this fight. So now he's, saying things like that. But he know this fight is going to happen.
I hope so, dog. Everybody's anticipating. Let's give Ranu a shout out. While we only sitting on 9 likes, we've been working hard for you guys. Appreciate you, Al Money, co-signing him. Hey, man, before we roll out, dog, I do want to touch. We got Tommy Fury coming up against Jake Paul. I don't particularly care to get too much into this because as a boxing fan, I don't particularly care. But I do want to say one thing, dog, and I want to send some salute to Jake Paul because that dude right there could be getting paid millions to do whatever the hell he wants to do. He could wear a shirt that with somebody's brand on it and get paid millions. And I've been seeing him work out, dude. And I don't particularly care about the dude. I love what he's doing with the sport and women's boxing and all that. But as a fight fan, I don't care about Jake Paul, the boxer. But I got to salute the man for putting in that work. If anybody's ever stepped into a ring, knows how much hell is involved with getting ready for camp. And, dude, honestly, I don't even know who I'm picking for this weekend. I always pick the boxer. I'm not so convinced Tommy Fury is a boxer. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. I don't know if the fight's going to be fixed or not. I don't know anything. But all I want to do is take a quick second to salute Jake Paul specifically for busting his ass to get ready for a fight because most people watching, most people around you can't do that and won't do that, especially when you got other options. But real quick, your takeaways, what are your thoughts on the Jake Paul, Tommy Fury fight this weekend before we roll out?
I think it's in the air, but with me, I'm leaning more towards Jake Paul, right? Not Tommy Fury got a lot on his shoulders, Jay.
Yeah.
He got a lot on his shoulders from pulling out these fights to having all the pressure to have the world talking about him to having a big figure in Jake Paul when he talk is going to go global from the 214 to across the pond. And with him having that weight on his back, knowing that he is the brother of the heavyweight champion of the world in Tyson Fury, right? This could be bad if he lose that fight. And I think the pressure with him going into this fight is going to be a lot on his shoulders. So I'm picking Jake Paul to win this fight, man. If I'm wrong, I'll come on here and say I'm wrong. But I think Jake Paul, what he done showed us, I know Tommy Fury, they say, oh, he a so-called real boxer. Well, go look at his box rec and tell me if that's real boxing to you or if that's going to get somebody from downtown in his area to come fight him.
No doubt, dog. Yeah,
so I don't think that, like people try to say, they not too far apart, JJ. They not.
No, 100%. We see if Jake Paul wins, he's going to be ranked with the WBC. Which what the hell are we talking about? Again, WBC. I mean, it's y'all's organization. Do what you want. Hey, but listen, I'll be the first to admit if Jake Paul somehow keeps climbing his ladder, I'll be the first to say I was wrong. I appreciate what the dude done for the sport. I appreciate the work he's putting in. It's kind of a circus to me because, like you said, Tommy Fury, you want to call him a real boxer. I don't know if you want to or not, but he's not his brother Tyson. He's jacked. He got big muscles, but I don't know that means anything in the boxing ring. So, again, I just wanted to make a point to salute that dude for fucking doing what most of us would never even try to do. So, salute to Jake Paul, man. But, man, if you want to go ahead and wrap up, I definitely just want to remind everybody to come join the Spit Bucket podcast. We will be there live and broadcasting the fight. And so check us out on YouTube. But we'd love to see you guys in person. Come out, take some pictures, salute the kiddos, salute the guys that are putting in all the work for your local boxing scene on Saturday and Sunday. Check out our social media for details. But Corey, if you don't got nothing else, dog, you want to go ahead and wrap it up, my friend?
Hey, yeah, shout out to everybody on here from the 214 to across the pond. Like my partner in crime, JJ Solomon, just said, man, if y'all going to be in the city this weekend of Dallas, Texas, make sure y'all show up and show out. It's going to be a movie. It ain't nobody who going to talk that talk like we talk that talk. It ain't nobody who going to show up and show out and put on a show like the Spit Bucket podcast is going to put up a show. So I advise everybody, don't miss this.
You got that hot tea ready, my dog?
I got that hot tea ready, man.
You got that hot tea ready, man. Well, we hope to see you guys. Y'all hit us up if y'all have any questions about the event. Otherwise, we will talk to you guys soon. Salute. Appreciate y'all.
This is JJ Solomon.
This Corey Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast.